So without further ado, thank you, Perry. Good morning. If you're sitting in that nice cross-legged position with those gentle fists, if you'd like to actually extend them, both your hands opening wide, spreading the fingers, and then gently reclosing that gentle fist. Opening, extending, really sending energy through all 10 fingers, and then gently rebending. Your eyes can be closed or open. Breathing in as you open the hand, and an exhale as you reclose. If you'd like to switch that breath, you can try that too. So take a deep breath in with those closed fists and breathe into those fists, and then exhale, relax the hand open. Inhale, close. Exhale, open. So choosing whichever pattern of breath is working for you right now in your body, just making sure that you're linking the breath to movement, that yoga and that union of breath. Opening those fists and then closing them, making sure that the thumb reconnects directly over the ring finger. Couple more times. Wow, it's very windy outside. I hope my house doesn't blow down. My goodness, that was intense. One more deep inhale and a soft exhale out. Go ahead and extend your hands. Place one on your stomach and one on your heart. Dip your chin in toward your chest and breathe. As you breathe in through the nose, the belly fills with breath, pushing your hand out, and as you exhale, drawing the navel in toward the spine, relaxing the shoulders away from the ears a little bit. At this time, if you'd like to bring your hands back to your knees, maybe do some gentle neck rolls, just to get into that movement. My personal favorite is taking one ear, chin down through center, and then ear to the other side. That's just my personal favorite. I'm sorry about the lack of music today. For those of you who tuned into a line, Facebook actually cut off the last few minutes of meditation because they heard my music in the background. Even though I said I didn't claim the rights, but whatever. So that's why we're not doing that today. But if you'd like an album to go along with your practice, I would highly recommend The Richest Man in Babylon by the Thievery Corporation. Really, really nice album all the way through. So if you're still doing those neck rolls, taking the ear to one shoulder, chin down through center, ear to the other shoulder. You can come back to stillness, maybe a little shimmying, to get your chest loose, to get the spine awakened. We'll do a couple seated cat-cows since I have you here seated. So with your hands on your knees, you can begin to grip your knees. And then you're going to inhale, lift, maybe even look up a little. Exhale, pull your knees and round through the spine, bringing the chin into the chest, yeah? Inhale, lift and look up. Exhale, round, chin to chest. Inhale, up. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale back up, and then exhale, relax back to a nice neutral neck. Spine is stacked. If you're sitting on a block or a bolster, that's excellent. If not, you can grab a pillow, and if you don't want one, you're fine for now. But we're going to inhale, let's twist. Inhale the arms up. Exhale to the right, left hand to the right knee, right fingertips come behind you. Every inhale, you get a little bit taller to the crown of the head. Exhale, soften the skin on the tops of the shoulders. One more deep inhale, get tall, and then exhale, come back through center. Inhale the arms up, and we're going to go to the left. So, right hand to left knee, left fingertips come behind you. Every inhale, you get taller. Every exhale, soften the shoulders. Inhale through the core, up to the crown of the head. And then exhale, release, come back through center. All right, go ahead and swing those knees around. And just a moment, I just want a reference. This is going to be a really, really fun flow. So you're going to go ahead and pop up to your feet. We'll do a couple of sun A's, and then we'll get into this full moon flow, okay? On an inhale, lift those arms up, grab the left wrist with the right hand, and then exhale over to the right. Inhale back up through center, switch the grip, exhale over to the left. Inhale up through center, one more time, exhale to the right, gripping the left wrist. Inhale back up through center, exhale over to the left. Inhale back up and swan dive forward over those legs for your first forward fold. If you'd like to intensify, you can walk the fingertips back, away toward your heels, if you can reach the ground. If not, let the hands come to the shins, the ankles. Inhale up for a halfway lift. Pause, nice flat back there, and then exhale, release. Plant your hands. Go ahead and step back to an upper push-up position. It's called plank. So your wrists are stacked directly under your shoulders, and your heels are over your toes. Hold this. Really make sure that you're engaging through the core so you don't have a slackened low back. You really want to engage and lift the hips a little bit. I tend to lift mine a little too high sometimes. So it's kind of actually nice to look at myself and see where my alignment is. All right, and you're still breathing, building up some heat here. On an exhale, bend the elbows in toward the side bodies, lower all of the way down to the mat, and then untuck the toes when you arrive. Tops of the feet press into the mat. You inhale and lift up for a little baby cobra. And then exhale to release. Tuck the toes, push up through hands and knees, and then go ahead and send the hips right back. You're coming into your first down dog. You can pedal out your feet, bend the knees nice and deeply. If your knees are bent, fully extend those legs on an exhale. Feel those long lines of energy come up the backs of the legs. On an inhale, look between your hands. Exhale, glide forward to upper push-up position. Hold. Nice deep inhale, checking that alignment. And on your exhale, send the hips back to down dog again. On an inhale, look between your hands. Exhale, step, walk, or jump, feet to hands. Inhale up for that halfway lift. And then exhale to release. Inhale, come all the way up, sweep those arms up, and exhale, just fold right back down again. Pause here, one full inhale and one full exhale. On your next inhale, rise up for that halfway lift, and then exhale, release, plant the hands, step it back to upper push-up position. From your upper push-up position, you're going to begin to hold, drawing the core in. And then exhale, lower down all of the way. Untuck your toes when you arrive. Inhale up for that little baby cobra. Exhale and release. Tuck the toes, push up through plank or through hands and knees, whichever you'd like right now. And then send the hips right back for down dog again. So that's your typical sun A. So we started with the sun. And now we'll get into the moon a little bit. I lied. We're going to do a sun B really quick. So, on an inhale, look between your hands. Exhale, step, walk, or jump, feet to hands. Inhale up for that halfway lift. Exhale and release. Inhale, rise all the way up. Sweep the arms up. Exhale, sit the hips right back into chair. Stay nice and light through the toes. Your arms can be out in front of you. They can come back behind you. You can have a bind. Just make sure that if your palms are touching, then your elbows might have to be bent. Nice and light through those toes. Really activate through that core to protect your low back. One more deep inhale. And an exhale, forward fold over those legs. Inhale up for that halfway lift. Exhale and release. Plant the hands, step it back to upper push-up position. Hold that breath here. Inhaling deeply. And then exhale. Bend the elbows in toward the side bodies. Lower down to the mat in one piece. Untuck the toes and you arrive. Inhale up for that little halfway lift. Or little, it is kind of like a halfway lift actually from the ground. Exhale to release that little baby cobra. Sorry. Alright, tuck those toes, push up through hands and knees or through plank, and send the hips back for that down dog. On an inhale, look between your hands. Exhale, step, walk, or jump, feet to hands. Inhale up for a halfway lift. Exhale to release. Inhale, come all the way up. Sweep the arms up. So for this full moon flow, bring your hands to heart center first. We're going to start with a little bit more spine movement and awakening. So now we did one seated, now we'll do one standing. So for this, your hands are at heart center. You're going to inhale, separate, really make that big capital T with the arms, big wingspan. And exhale, round through the spine, bring the fingertips to touch in front of you. You can bring the chin down to the chest. That'll activate the backs of the shoulders. Inhale, extend the arms away from each other. Exhale, round, bring the fingertips to touch. Inhale, open deeply. Exhale, one more time. Fingertips to touch in front of you. Really, really sending energy through those fingertips. Inhale, back, open again. Bring the arms up to frame the head. So we're going to do a couple of little like spinal rolls here. So it's kind of like a wave movement. As you forward fold, inhale, back up. And just trying to make an actual wave with your body. This is a little bit more of just like some mindful movement. Reflecting that moon energy. And just trying to create an actual wave with your body. We are mostly made of water. Therefore, the moon does affect us. And just making that nice wave movement. And then pausing when your arms are back up overhead. And exhale the hands to heart center. Inhale the arms up to frame the head. A couple more side body stretches. We're going to grab that left wrist with the right hand. Exhale over to the right. Inhale back up. Switch the grip. Exhale to the left. Inhale back up through center. Go ahead and lower the hands down to the side. Have a nice Tadasana. Tadasana is called mountain pose. You're going to extend all 10 fingers. Feet are firmly planted on the floor. From that mindful movement and that flow, that wave that we just did, to standing still, tall and strong. A moment of stillness. All right, so go ahead and relax those hands, maybe shake it out a little bit, maybe make a couple of spinal twists, just kind of letting your arms clap against your body. Shoulder rolls, whatever's clever right now. I'd like you to extend your feet out, nice wide stance. Toes can be pointed toward the corners. That's right, we're going into the goddess pose right off the bat. Okay, so toes might be pointed at the outer corners. Nice wide stance, not as wide as a wide-legged forward fold. So then you're going to bend very deeply into the knees. Yeah? Your shoulders are stacked over your hips. Yeah, very nice. Your hands can be on your hips, they can be at your knees, they can be at heart center. Or they can have these nice cactus goddess arms. Whatever's clever. Draw the shoulders back. Yep, stacking the spine and the shoulders over the hips. Inhale, raise up, extend, arms up too. And then exhale, rebend. Inhale up. Exhale, bend. Inhale up. With your legs extended, bring the arms down to a capital T. Turn the right toes away from the left. So your right toes are pointed toward the front of your mat right now, and your left foot is perpendicular. So if you could draw a line from the heel to the inner arch of the left foot, that's how your base is right now, okay? So arms are at that nice capital T. Send the left hip back. Push, 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 push. And then reach, 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 reach with the right arm, and then bend at the hip, hinging forward, coming right into triangle. Your left hand is up toward the ceiling. You can bring it out over your ear if you'd like. Bring the right arm to meet it if you want a very, very intense ab intensification. Breathe here. Hand can come to a block. Hand can come to the top of your shin. Or to the ground. So from your triangle, here's what we're going to do. Bring the left top hand down to the inside of the right foot. You can bend the knee, the right knee, forward knee. And then you're going to come up to the toes of the back left foot. So your hands are framing your front right foot. Hike the left foot in halfway up your mat, coming right into pyramid. From this pyramid, you're going to breathe first of all. Square your hips. Inhale up for a halfway lift. Exhale, release. If you'd like this to be more of a balanced pose, both of your hands can come to the front right ankle. Keep breathing. All right, so from this pyramid pose, with the front right leg forward, you're going to bend that right knee. Go ahead and push the left foot back to the back of your mat. Lower the back knee down. Untuck the toes. So now you've got this nice Anjaneyasana, a modified low lunge. And then you're going to inhale, rise up, stack the shoulders over the hips. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, come forward, plant the hands to frame the front foot. Fingertips kind of, not the hands. And then you're going to extend the right leg, coming back into a runner's lunge. Rebend on an inhale. Rise up, sweep the arms up for that modified crescent, and then exhale. Coming back down, framing the front foot, extending the leg back. So you're coming into this beautiful flow to your own breath. Go ahead and go through that a couple more times. Bending into that front knee, rising the arms up, planting, and extending. One more time, inhaling up, and then exhale, extending. On your next inhale, as you rebend into that front knee, you can tuck the back toes, lift up off that back leg. So you're in this nice low lunge position. And from this low lunge, what I would like you to do is you're going to walk your fingertips back to the middle, towards your midline. You can bend nice and deeply into that leg. We're coming into these nice little ninja splits here. So you can extend the left leg and get that foot in the camera there. So you're nice and flexed. You can go through pointing or flexing. If your heel is lifted, that's absolutely fine. Or if it's planted, you can also do that too. It gives you a little bit of a wider stance if your foot is planted, in my opinion. And then from this, you're going to breathe, and you can point and flex that foot. Lots of really deep hip work and inner thigh here. If your fingertips aren't already on the ground, plant them. Begin to bring some weight off of your right hip. Begin to bend the left leg in, crawl it in. You're coming right into a Malasana squat. In this Malasana squat, your hips are lowered. If this is a little bit too much on your hips or your knees, you can actually lift your hips. This is called huddle pose. It's the same thing as this. You're pushing the elbows into the inner knees, drawing the knees in toward the midline, and as you do that, you get really tall. No rounding of the shoulders or the spine here. We'll do a couple twists while we're here. So go ahead and release the hands from prayer. Bring the fingertips to the earth. We're going to take it to the right first. So you're going to inhale, lift the right arm up. Left fingertips are on the ground. Release, right fingertips back to the ground. Lift up and twist to the left. Lifting the left arm. And exhale, release, both fingertips back on the ground. We'll go through a couple more flow movements here. So from the squat, inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, rebend, come back down. Inhale, lifting into that little wide-legged forward fold. And exhale, rebend. Inhale to lift. Exhale to rebend. So we're going to go through this entire thing on the left side now, right? So you're going to walk the left foot away from the right. So your left toes are going to point forward. You're going to bring the right leg back, coming into that low lunge. Yeah? From that low lunge, you can lower the back knee down, untuck the toes, planting the top of the foot against the mat. Inhale up for this movement again. And then exhale, plant and extend. Inhale to rebend, rise up. Exhale, frame the front foot, send the hips back. Inhale to rebend, sweep the arms up. Exhale, plant Extend one more time here. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Come down to frame the front foot. So we're going to come into this ninja squat on the left. So you can tuck the back toes, lift the right leg up, and then begin to pivot the foot all the way around so that the heel is on the floor. And then you come right into that ninja squat, yeah? So it's a beautiful little turning of the leg, a little bit of split prep, you might say, but I don't think we're going to get to that today. Sorry, Marilyn, if you're watching. So from this ninja squat, sending all the energy into that outer left hip and inner right thigh. You can practice pointing the foot, flexing the foot. Hands can be down in front of you or on blocks. Awesome. Okay, begin to rotate that right leg like a rotisserie, yeah? And then roll to the top of the foot. Your knee can be lowered. If the knee is lowered, you tuck those back toes, lift up off of the back leg. And we're going to get right back into pyramids. You're going to hike the right foot halfway up the mat, coming right into pyramid. Track that left hip back to square the hips. If you want more balance, you can bring the hands to the front left leg. Inhale up for a halfway lift wherever you are here. And then exhale to release. So we're going to get into triangle, yeah? So we're doing the whole thing in reverse now. So, going to bring the right foot back to the back of your mat. You're going to swivel the heel down so that you have that base of the left toes pointing perpendicular away from the inner arch of the right foot. And then you can inhale up, straighten that front left leg now. Arms out to that capital T, send the hip back, and come down into that triangle. All right, so breathing from this triangle, whether the right arm is out over the right ear, whether it's meeting the left or not, or even if you just want to take the top of the hand to the small of the back, you can look up if that's comfortable for your neck. All right, so with the left toes pointing forward, now we have to come back into goddess. So what we're going to do is you're going to inhale, come back up, stack the shoulders over the hips, turn the left toes. So now both of your toes are pointing parallel off the side of your mat. You're back in this almost wide-legged forward fold, except you're going to heel toe your feet in about once or twice. Toes are pointing out toward the outer corners of your mat, and then you bend generously into the knees, coming back into goddess, yeah? Hands can be at your hips, your knees, or up. Okay? In this goddess pose, make sure you're not sticking your butt out. Really stack those shoulders over those hips. Beautiful. Yes. With those bent legs on your inhale, rise and stack, straighten everything. And then exhale, rebend. Get a little bit lower maybe into that saddle. Inhale up. Exhale lower. Seated in this goddess pose, we're going to do a couple of twists. So your hands, if they're up in cactus or goddess arms, you can bring them down to your hips. We're going to do just a couple of brief twists here. So you're going to inhale to get tall, and then exhale, right shoulder to left knee. Inhale back up. Exhale, left shoulder to right knee. Inhale up, and exhale, just coming into this movement, linking your breath to movement. Exhale. Inhale back up. Exhale, get a little bit deeper, and then inhale, straighten everything. If your toes are pointing toward the outer edges of your mat, bring them to point parallel off the side of your mat. Inhale the arms up, and then exhale, forward fold, coming into a nice wide-legged forward fold here. If you need to widen your stance, please do. If you need a block at this time for your hands, that's always a nice prop to have here to maintain a nice flat back. Wherever you are in this forward fold, if you want to pop up into an inversion at this time, tripod or headstand is absolutely in your practice at home. If that's something that you have in your practice, please feel free to do that. For those of you who aren't doing any inversions right now, you can inhale up for halfway lifts, and then exhale to forward fold over your legs even deeper. You can walk your fingertips forward or backwards. Hands can come to outside ankles. Whatever's better for you right now. So come out of this, bring your hands back below your eyes. Heel toe your feet in, underneath your hip points. Inhale up for a sideways halfway lift off the side of your mat. And then exhale to release. Bend the knees very deeply. Bring the fingertips down to the ground. Lower yourself down to a seat. I don't know about you. That was a ton of flow. Let's do some grounding work, shall we? Alright, so in your seated position, your butt is firmly on the ground now. Let's extend both the legs out long toward the front of your mat, okay? Heels are nice and flexed for active legs all the way through, protecting the backs of the knees and the calves. Inhale the arms up to frame the head. Exhale, forward fold. Hands come down to wherever they land, whether it's your knees, your shins, your ankles, or your toes. If you'd like to get into a little side body work here, you can bring your left hand to the outside edge of your right foot. Pull that toe, well, pull the right big toe and the whole right foot really toward your face. Breathe deeply. You can exhale to release that and then take it to the other side. So right hand to the outer left edge of the foot. Both feet are still very, very flexed, as if you could put a footprint on the front wall. Release the outer left edge and relax the hands away from the legs. Inhale, rise back up, stacking the shoulders over the hips. Let's do that one leg at a time just for fun. So you're going to bring the sole of the right foot into the inner left thigh, staying nice and flexed through that left leg. Turn your shoulders directly toward the left extended leg. Inhale the arms up to frame the head. And then exhale, forward fold over this leg. Breathe very deeply here. Let's release that. Inhale, crawl the hands back in toward the pelvis, rise up, stacking the shoulders over the hips, switch the feet. Left sole of the foot comes to the inner right thigh. Turn the shoulders toward the extended right leg. Right ankle is flexed. Inhale the arms up. And then exhale, forward fold over this leg. Breathing nice and deeply. Slowly release the hand from wherever it is on the leg. Inhale, rise back up. Whether you're walking the fingers in toward the pelvis or you engage the core to rise. Extend the leg out long to meet the right. Go ahead and give him a little pitter patter. Maybe a little windshield wiper. Another little pitter patter. Swing both knees around to the left and come up to a nice kneeling position if you need. Well, I think that we're actually going to come into camel right now. So let's do some back bending work. So, from this kneeling position, I'd like you to come up to a tall kneeling position. Tops of the feet are pressed against the mat. If you'd like blocks for this, you absolutely can place blocks on the outer edges of your legs. We're going to inhale the right arm up and then swing it back. Make that full moon motion, that full circle, until you can reach the ankle or the heel or a block or any kind of prop that you need to give you a little bit of lift if you can't reach your ankle, okay? Inhale the left arm up and bring it back to meet the left ankle. Send the hips forward. Relax the throat back. To come out of this, send the hips, release the hands, and lower. Come out. It's a very difficult pose to teach while you talk. So you're back down in this nice seated kneeling position. Go ahead and bring the feet back out from under your hips. Extend the legs forward. Inhale the arms up parallel with the legs. Tuck the tailbone. Scoop out the core. Round through the spine. We'll do a little bit of core work here. So as you're lowering, you inhale and hold, and on your exhale, you lower down a couple more inches. So you're going all the way down. Pausing on every inhale, and then getting a little lower on every exhale. Once your shoulders meet the ground, which might be a couple more breaths, so please don't rush this. Gotta get that core work. When your shoulders meet the ground, the arms can come up overhead. Legs are extended, point the toes, full body stretch, and then exhale. Bring the arms down along the sides. Pause here for a moment. Ground into the earth. Imagine the nice pretty pink moon above you maybe. Go ahead and bend those knees. Tenting the knees, feet are planted on the earth. On an inhale, bring both knees into your chest. Grab your knees, maybe roll around in a little circle, massage your low back. Lower your left leg to the mat. Cross your right knee over your left knee, if you're sitting in a chair. Arms can come out to a capital T, and then we're going to lower the legs over to the right. You can look out over your left arm if that's comfortable for your neck. Inhale back up through center. Uncross the right knee from the left. Cross the left knee over the right knee, and then exhale. Send that whole cross-legged formation over to the left. Look out over the right arm if that's comfortable for your neck. On an inhale, bring your knees back up through center. Uncross the left knee from the right knee. Bring the soles of the feet to touch and let the knees open like a book. Coming into Supta Baddha, your hands can be on your hips. They can come to the outer edges of your knees and gently hold your legs in this position, or you can have one hand on your stomach and one hand on your heart. Breathing here in Supta Baddha. Your knees are open like a book. Soles of the feet come to touch. If you haven't been using your Mushti Mudra, go ahead and gently make that fist. Got so caught up in the flow, I forgot about my fists. Making that little gentle fist. It's a circular kind of shape, just like the full moon right now. If you haven't already come out of this, bring your hands to the outside edges of your knees, help your legs to close them like a book, and then walk your heels and heel-toe your feet out to the outer edges of your mat and let your knees knock together for a little counter stretch. And from here, focusing on that Mushti Mudra, making those gentle fists, crossing the thumb over the ring finger. Heel toe your feet back and underneath your hip points. You're going to come into a couple of supported bridges. So actually, I'd like everyone to grab a pillow of some kind. And with your handy dandy pillow, you're going to slide that right underneath the small of your back. You're going to have to maybe lift it a little bit. And you can fold the pillow over if it's not enough support or if you don't get enough lift and you want more. But yeah, it's just a nice modified low bridge here. And just kind of feeling the traction and the space in between the vertebrae. So if you want more than one pillow, that's also an option. So take your time, go ahead and do that. And from this nice supported low bridge, we're going to come into some reclined pigeon. So you have that pillow underneath your back. Yeah, I'm going to use a blanket. You can literally use anything, it's fine. I just want you to have a little bit of squish under there. Doesn't have to be a ton of lift, because now we're going to go into this reclined pigeon, right? So, more hip work. Cross the right ankle over the left knee. If you'd like to, with the right hand, you can push the right knee forward toward the front of the mat. If you want more sensation in the hip, lift on an inhale, bring the left foot off the mat, grab the left thigh under the left knee, and then you can push the right elbow into the right knee, or you can extend the left leg up. If you'd like some motion, you can absolutely roll around from side to side here, massaging the low back while you work the hip as well. Double whammy, excellent for low back pain. Excuse me, big yawn. You can make circles with your left ankle if you'd like. It's a nice thing to do. If the left leg is extended, begin to rebend the left knee. Go ahead and release the left thigh. Bring the hands out to that capital T. Lower this entire formation over to the left. Yeah, twist into the hip. On an inhale, bring that whole formation back up through center. Uncross the right ankle from the left knee, and then we're going to come into this on the other side. So you're going to cross the left ankle over the right knee. Flex through that left ankle. Taking the left hand to the left knee, pushing the left knee forward, coming into this hip and this side, noticing if the sensations are different on this side than they were on the other. On an inhale, lift up on the right leg if you need more, and then go ahead and grab the right thigh under the right knee, and then push the left elbow into the left knee. Soften the shoulders. Nice flexion. See how my ankles were all relaxed? You want them to be nice and flexed. Feet prints, yeah? And if you want to practice feeling that difference in sensation, you can relax the feet and then flex them, and you will feel the physical difference of your body being engaged versus not engaged, okay? And if you'd like more, of course, you may lift the right leg. Pulling that right leg in towards your forehead and your head. Rolling around if you need that motion. Go ahead and rebend that right leg, release the right thigh, bring the arms out to that capital T, and then lower this entire formation over to the right. You could look out over your left arm if that's comfortable for your neck to complete that twist. On an inhale, come back up through center, undo the left ankle from the right knee. Both feet are back on the ground. Now, if you'd like to grab another pillow, or if you'd like to bend the pillow that you have underneath the small of your back, if you want to bend it in half. So for me, I'm just going to bend that and get a little bit more lift. just to get the hips lifted more. Supported low bridge. If you haven't been making them, go ahead and make those gentle fists again and place them both over your eyes just like this, very gently. Go ahead and extend the legs down long in front of you. Feel that traction in your low back. To take that pillow out, re-bend the knees, bring the heels back in toward the glutes, lift up through the pelvis, take that pillow out. If you'd like to place it underneath your knees, you may absolutely do that. Actually, I'm going to recommend that to everyone right now. I would like you to take the pillow that was under the small of your back, or in my case, my little blanket squish, and you're going to place that right under your knees. What that does is that takes the curvature out of your low back. The higher your knees are with that pillow support, the better here. You could even call this a borderline restorative pose. If you have blocks at home, you can place a bolster or a pillow on top of your blocks to create what's called Stonehenge. And I'd like you all to sit there. Well, actually, you're laying. I'm sitting, sorry. So you're laying back, your shoulders are pressed against the earth. You have that nice little squish under your legs. Take the low back curvature away to allow your spine to lay flat on the floor. I think it's snowing out, guys. I just looked over my shoulder. It's snowing. Yay. Wow. Crazy. All right, so coming back to our body and coming back to the moment. Don't get up and go look out the window. That wasn't my intent. So you have that nice squish underneath your legs, and we're going to come into a little bit of restorative here just to ground. So if you'd like to take your hand to your stomach and one hand to your heart to feel your breath here in this Stonehenge in this restorative pose. Hi, Rocco. Nice to see you. And Eileen, oh my goodness. So we're coming into this restorative Stonehenge. You can make those gentle fists if you aren't. If they're over your stomach and your heart, that's absolutely fine. Or your palm can be flat against the body, whichever works for you right now. The chin is tucked in toward the chest. If you need a little bit of neck support at this time, you can always grab that, whether it's just a little blanket that you put underneath your neck. The point is to get the chin down to the chest. Mom definitely doing a little bit of restorative nods towards you right now, because she's the one who taught me about how when your chin is down toward your chest, you're closing off that vulnerable throat space, which stimulates the vagus nerve to get the parasympathetic nervous system working. The sympathetic nervous system is that fight or flight response that we're constantly kind of stuck in, that anxious, on-edge mode that I know we all feel very deeply right now. So, tucking the chin into the chest just a little bit stimulates that vagus nerve and gets the parasympathetic relaxation, regeneration, and digestion. So, stimulating that, coming into a couple moments of stillness here. And when we are done with this beautiful Shavasana, I will bring you out of it with my voice. If you would like to take your legs down to the ground, if raising your legs is too much for you in any way, then please take the bolster out from underneath you and come into a regular Shavasana without legs lifted. Bring the tip of the tongue away from the roof of the mouth, and on your next exhale, relax the space between your eyes. And I will bring you out of this when it's over. start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, bringing your attention back to the room and back to your limbs. If your hands are still in that gentle fist, you may extend the fingers and flatten the hands wherever they are, if they're by your sides or if they're still on your body. If your legs are up on all of those props, or if they aren't, either way, you're all going to roll over to your right side and pause there. You can push the props away from you and remove them from the mat if it's bothering you. Laying on your right side in a little fetal position, a nice little ball, just like our fists were, another little ball, more circles, more full moon circles, yes. And when you're ready, using your hands and arms, you're going to push yourself up to a seated position. Come to a nice cross-legged position. If you'd like that, any kind of support underneath your bottom at this time, now's a great time to do that, to get your hips just a little bit above your knees. Your hands can come to heart center, pressing the thumbs right into that space, and we're all going to make a lovely lotus mudra for the end of class. So from your thumbs at your heart space, what you're going to do is you're going to leave the bottom edge where it meets your wrist. You're going to leave that together and open your fingers. It's going to look like that. So your pinkies are still touching and your thumbs are still touching. All of the other fingers open like a beautiful lotus. And that's pressing right into your heart space, pressing your thumbs in. You can look right down into it, okay? And as you breathe, maybe the eyes close. And as you inhale, imagine a beautiful ball of white light that gets bigger on the inhale, and on the exhale, it gets a little bit smaller and dimmer. And then as you inhale, it gets big and bright and fills your entire heart space, or the space in between your hands. Just having that beautiful visualization as you're breathing here for the last few moments. This full moon in Libra is going to have us all really focusing a lot on our relationships, both romantic, platonic, family, what have you, because we aren't allowed to see each other, and I know that we're all missing each other. And I'm super grateful to be a part of this community where I'm able to see the interactions, and you're able to see my face a little bit, and I hope to do a couple of Zoom classes. Zoom classes are a little bit more fun because you can have multiple windows and you can see each other's faces as you practice, so that may be a fun a meditation or a set of music or something like that where I can actually see some of your faces, because I do dearly miss all of you. So focusing that raw energy from the full moon as it goes into Libra, just being aware that everyone is super on edge. Be kind to everyone, be kind to yourselves, reach out to your homies and your family. Together, take a breath in and a long sigh out the mouth. Begin to close that lotus. Feel the energy between your fingers until they come back to meet, all of your fingers together. Instead of spreading the fingers, I'd like all the fingers to come together. Pressing the thumbs into those heart space. Bow your head to your heart, lift your heart to your head, bringing the two closer together. Thank you so very much for tuning in to this class this morning. Thank you so much for the birthday love. I truly, deeply feel it. And yeah, just thank you for that. The light and the truth in me sees that and honors it in each of you. And together we say, Namaste. Thank you all so very much for watching. Remember, there is a virtual class pass that you can purchase for $8 if you're able to help support Balance Webster and all of the amazing teachers that we have on staff right now across the nation that are teaching yoga weekly. Every day we have multiple classes. We even have some dance classes that are going on. You can go to balancewebster.com if you would like more information. There's also a YouTube channel where all of these classes are saved, and you can go and watch them at your leisure at any time. So you have an extensive resource of yoga and meditation, restorative yoga, flows, my Align class, which focuses on the anatomy of the body. Great for beginners and seasoned yogis, which I do on Tuesday at 6 p.m. I had to think about that. And we also do a little bit of meditation at the end, too. Once again, thank you so very much for tuning in, and I hope that you have a blessed rest of your week. And I will see you all next time.